limber up for the second half of battle. San Miguel lamang po ng 10 puntos, 51-41.
Pero alam mo, Miko, one thing we failed to mention at the half, ito si Alipik had 6 big points all in the first quarter. But again, the defensive adjustments that was forced on him by Coach Jong. Yun ang niya, no? Kaya na-zero siya sa second quarter.
Missed by Racela. Here is Antonio. Antonio starting the second half with Barrientos, Alipik, Jaja Richards, and John Arrigo. Inside to Richards, up against Burgess, moving to Velasco. Here's Barrientos, slicing through, hand off for Alipik, and he scores a two-pointer underneath.
So I don't know if they hear us dito sa ating panel. Scoring the first 2 points here sa ating second half is Alipik.
First field goal ni Alipik mula pa nung first quarter. 8 points for Peak. Para naman sa San Miguel, nasa sahig si Chris Burgess, Golden Ontiveros, Nick Velasco, Olson Racela, and Danny Siegel. 4 to shoot, bola na kay Velasco. 2 to shoot, Velasco fire. Nakakuha pa ng foul ng San Miguel.
Medyo napasigaw ang bench ng Coca-Cola dun sa pinito na yun ng referees. We got to see that again in our slow motion. So ito si Nick Velasco just preparing for 2 free throws right here. I felt that was a very good defense by Alipik that time, but there could have been incidental contact, Nico, no, na hindi natin masyadong napansin.
That's number 2 laban kay Alipik. Yung former team ni Alipik, ang Alaska Aces, will play later today laban sa Santa Lucia Realtors. Yan ang ating second game sa ating Wednesday doubleheader dito lamang sa ABC Sports.
And Nick Velasco not taking advantage of that opportunity. This is 2 of those free throws.
Here's Antonio from the corner. Abalik kay Arrigo. Arrigo, long try. Si bola napunta kay Siegel. Siegel with 19 points. Outside, Velasco. Velasco laban kay Antonio. Velasco, soft touch, no go. Alipik gets the rebound. 4 rebounds tonight para kay Alipik. Here's a Barrientos, zigzagging through. Bounce pass para kay Antonio. Mobra, rebound nakuha ni Richard. Ibabato kay Arrigo. Masadong malakas and that's a turnover.
Sayang yung offensive rebound na yun ni Jaja Richards. Of course, he'll have to be given that error. Masyadong malakas yung pinasa niya kay John Arrigo. Was not able to hold on to that ball. Sayang yung opportunity. Ball goes back to San Miguel Beermen.
Burgess, top of the key. Backdoor play with Racela. And now it's with Velasco. Open 3, no go. Here's Barrientos. Barrientos, pinasa kay Arrigo. Arrigo, hinarangan kaagad si Velasco. And now they will set the offense. With 13 on the shot clock, Arrigo fires. At sa wakas, nakakuha ng TM 3-pointer ang Coca-Cola. And you know, it is strange. That is the first 3-point field goal for Coca-Cola in the conference after 2 games. They have Arrigo, they have Will Antonio, and that's only their first 3-point connection for the conference.
And the first 5 points here in the third quarter, all coming from the Coca-Cola Tigers. So 5 lang to. Ito si Burgess, you know, he's got all day to shoot. Binibigay talaga sa kanya yung tira na yun from the 15-foot area. But he has not been taking those shots, Miko.
He has not been offensively assertive. In the meantime, here's Peak. Wala pa rin. 2 tries, no points. And here's Danny Siegel. Ginugulo ni Arrigo. Nice job by Arrigo. Leads to a turnover by the Beermen. Here's Barrientos over to John Arrigo.
7-0 run here in the third quarter. And this timeout will really have to be called right here by Coach Jong.
Yung 10-point lead ng San Miguel ay natunaw na just to a 3-point margin. Nakabalik na sa ating ball game ang Coca-Cola Tigers. And here's that turnover by Danny Siegel caused by John Arrigo. Kaya siya yung unang-una na nandun sa baba.
So kita mo yung setup job, ano? Because dahil maganda yung pagkakadepensa niya. Sabi ni Johnny A. O sige, ikaw na tumira nito.
And then here's Arrigo. hitting the first 3-point field goal ng Coca-Cola dito sa Fiesta Conference. John Arrigo so far with 13 points para sa Coca-Cola Tigers, leading this run by Coca-Cola to start things off in the third quarter. Over 8 minutes to go in the third. And a matchup in the backcourt, it's Racela laban kay Barrientos. Here's Burgess. And now Velasco with 12 to shoot. Inside, Danny Siegel. Siegel turning around. Pinabitan sa braso. Pumasok pa rin.
And they really feel there's a mismatch when it's Will Antonio guarding Danny Siegel. They easily recognize that thing. So even on the double team of Richards, ito makikita talaga natin yung talent dito nito si Danny Siegel. Already lost control of the ball, Nico, no? Na-control pa niya last second for that three-point opportunity. And Danny Siegel has got 22 big points. With still 8 minutes and 17. We're only in the third quarter.
Balik po sa aning mga bante ng San Miguel Beermen. Bola na kay Barrientos. Lost the ball. Here's Siegel. Siegel on the move. Siegel all the way.
And has already surpassed his last game's output of 23. He's got 24. Tayo po ay nasa third quarter pa lamang. Tama po kayo.
Here's Arrigo. Spots up. And it goes in and out. Rebound para kay Burgess. Burgess now with 11 rebounds. Here's Racela. Finds Ontiveros. Ontiveros fakes. Ontiveros fires. Inapos yung kanyang pabandang tira. Here's Johnny A. Over to Antonio. Back to Barrientos. Tigers down by 8 points. Bounce pass for Barrientos. Nahuli yung pass ni Velasco. And here's Racela. He will wait for teammates. Oh, love pass for Danny Siegel. Nice move. Pero inabot sa Danny Siegel. But Ontiveros was there for the putback.
So this is a game of spurts we're watching right here. Back to a 10-point lead for the San Miguel Beermen. 58-48. Siegel and Ontiveros still continuing their scoring spree here in the third quarter.
Ontiveros right away with 15 points. There's Burgess. He may not be as assertive on offense, but you get so many things out of him from defense. And let's go to Richard Del Rosario. May ulit siya regarding Rob Wainwright.
Yes, Miko, you mentioned earlier, medyo nagsistruggle nga itong Coke from the three-point area, and they're definitely missing the services itong si Rob Wainwright, who underwent arthroscopic surgery in his left knee. Sabi nila may kailangan raw linisin dun sa kanyang kaliwang tuhod. Pero he's practicing with the team already. Sabi nila after a few more games, makikita na natin siya back in action. Okay, Miko?
That's just good news for the Coca-Cola Tigers fans, ano? Hindi lang si Will Antonio at si John Arrigo magiging threat from the outside. Of course, they badly need the services of Rob Wainwright.
Napakita niya yung tattoo niya.
Hindi ko
parang gusto mo.
bago niya teammate si Dale Singson. Ito, you see this.
In the meantime, here's Rafi Rivas starting the break. And now the ball is inside to Ali Peak.
Ali Peak, itong tao to, no, hindi nagbabago yung tira niya. Even in front of Chris Burgess, he's been doing that since the first quarter. He's now in double figures with also 10 points. Ito si Ali Peak.
Burgess got him big.
That was well executed that time. High-low play for the San Miguel Beermen from Dorian Peña to Chris Burgess. That's his point. Malapit-lapit na rin yung double figures. Ito si Chris Burgess.
Double figures po ang lamang ng San Miguel. 60-50 with under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Touch pass to Rivas. Si Jaja Richards ay tutungo sa free throw line.
So they'd rather let him take that free throw. Ito si Jaja Richards than give him an easy 2 points from the inside.
That was the second personal foul of Chris Burgess. Nico Halili kasama si Alan Gregorio at Richard Del Rosario for this matchup between the Coca-Cola Tigers and the San Miguel Beermen. The Stars are matching up against each other. Para sa San Miguel, Danny Siegel and Nick Velasco combining for 27 points. Para naman sa Coca-Cola, Alipik and John Rigo combining for 23.
So hindi masyado no ang difference sa ating star comparison between the starters for both clubs. But it's more of yung mga tulad nila Olsen Racela who's been scoring for San Miguel na nakakatulong talaga para makalamang sila ng 9 points at this stage of the game.
Joey Mente is in the ball game for the first time para sa San Miguel. He joins Racela, Burgess, and Peña. Here's Alipik on the run. Alipik all the way.
Great rain that time for Alipik, and Danny Siegel could not have done anything. Napakiti na lang itong si Danny. Sa'yo na yan.
As we near the 5-minute mark of the third quarter, ito ang abante ng San Miguel, 60-53. And the domination by the starting lineup of the Beermen. And here's Siegel, part of that starting lineup, and he will be called for an offensive foul.
And that was a good defensive stance that time by Rafi Rivas. He anticipated that move of Danny Siegel. But what's more important is that's already the fourth foul of Danny Siegel. 4 minutes and 50. We're only in the third quarter.
By the way, both teams with 2 team fouls apiece here in the third period. Alipik to Avenido on the left side. And now to Arrigo. Arrigo scooting past Racela. Going over the outstretched arms of Danny Siegel.
And John Arrigo is just scoring at will at this time. He's got 15 points. 7 of them coming here in the third quarter.
A lot of contact there on Chris Burgess.
But it's not the kind of import, no? It's not the kind of import na magre-reklamo. No? Ito, oo, no? Puro kamay.
Puro braso yun.
Braso.
But action continues, and you're right, no complaints coming from Chris Burgess. So 4 and 16 to go. In the third quarter, 5 ang abante ng San Miguel. Mente is setting up the offense for the Beermen. Over to Racela. Racela fakes. Racela to Velasco. Velasco kapos. And here's Arrigo. Fall away is good.
This guy is red hot. 9 points here in the third quarter. Doing his thing in offense para kay Coach Eric Altamirano. Just a 3-point lead for the San Miguel Beermen, 60-57.
Mente from the corner. Racela swings it over to Velasco. Under 4 minutes to go in the quarter. Racela, no. It's Alipik who gets the rebound. And here's a back pass for Rafi Rivas. And the ball game is trimmed down to a 1-point affair.
And that's a
1-point lead.
That's a highlight play that time. Great pass, touch pass by John Arrigo to Rafi Rivas.
So namimiligro na po ang kalabangan ng San Miguel. Here's Dorian Peña. Outside Racela. Full swing. Wala. Richards with a rebound. Magkakataon po para sa Coca-Cola na makuha muli ang kalamangan. Rivas on the move. Wala yung layup. Last touch on San Miguel. I'm on po para sa Coca-Cola Tigers. They have battled back here in the third quarter through John Arrigo and Rafi Rivas. Back pass all the way for the slam. 1 point na lamang ang kalamangan ng San Miguel. 60-59. Another 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Pagkakataon po para sa Coca-Cola na matamo muli ang kalamangan. They were down by as many as 12 points. Back in the first half, here's Alipik. Oh, basang-basa yung kanyang pasa ni Olsen Racela. Racela on the move. Over to Joey Mente.
You've got to credit Olsen Racela with the of that point of Joey Mente. Ganda nung setup job na ginawa doon ni Olsen.
Balik sa tatlo ang lamang ng San Miguel with 2 and 21 to go in the third period. Rivas directing the offense and out to Arrigo on the right side. Picked up by Mente. 4 to shoot para sa Coca-Cola. 2 to shoot. Titira na dapat si Avenido at sa pangalawang pagkakataon, naiiwan na naman yung bola sa kamay ni Leo Avenido with a shot clock expiring.
So every time bumababa ng 1 point ang kalamangan nitong San Miguel, parang nagiging hesitant, ano? Ang offense nitong Coca-Cola Tigers after that error. Ito, 24-second violation naman ang naibigay sa kanila nitong San Miguel Beermen.
You know, that happened in front of the Coca-Cola bench. In the meantime, here's Anton Viloria. And that's a three-pointer brought to you by TM. TM3 para kay Anton Viloria.
So tingnan mo yung points, ano, nanggagaling yung last 4 points nitong San Miguel, nanggagaling kay Joey Mendez at kay Anton Viloria. Yung people you least expect to take their shot.
Balik sa anim ang lamang ng San Miguel. Avenido. Over to Arrigo. Arrigo laban kay Ontiveros. Arrigo fakes. Arrigo fires. Oh, it's good!
Holding on to his footwork that time. Itong si John Arrigo, he felt natatama talaga sa kanya. Itong si Dodon Ontiveros eh.
Here's that play once again. One fake. There's the bump. And there's that shooting touch ni John Arrigo off the glass.
So that's the balance and the follow through from John Arrigo. Extra shot for John Arrigo, who so far in this ball game has got 19 big points already. In that game against Santa Lucia, 19 ang ginawa niya. Ngayon, nasa third quarter pa lang tayo. Miko, 20 na. Ito si John Arrigo.
So ayaw magpaiwan itong Coca-Cola Tigers. A minute and 17 to go in the third quarter. Maganda sana yung ginawa ni Anton Viloria. He just could not finish. Here's Rivas, inside peak. High pass para kay Ali Peak at babalik ang bola sa San Miguel.
That was just great defense that time on transition by the San Miguel Beermen. Coca-Cola wanted to have a fast break that time. Pero puro white shirts ang nakita natin doon sa play na yan.
Malinaw na binunggo ni John Arrigo itong si Dondon Ontiveros. Pangalawa, laban kay John Arrigo. At yan po ang pangatlo laban sa Coca-Cola Tigers here in the third quarter. Just a minute and 4 seconds to go here in the third period. Bola na kay Peña laban kay Ali P. Here's Viloria to Peña. Peña, tumulong si Rivas. Here's Ontiveros, 8 on the shot clock. Viloria zigzagging inside, fall away, wala. Burgess gets the offensive rebound. New shot clock para sa San Miguel.
Good decision on the part of the San Miguel Beermen to reset this offense.
Is Viloria slicing through? There's a recent foul against Coca-Cola.
And you can see, no, that Anton Viloria really has the go signal to be very aggressive in offense.
Second person na laban kay Rafi Rivas. Yan po ang pang-apat laban sa Coca-Cola Tigers. Hindi makapaniwala si Rafi Rivas sa kanyang sinapit. Pero ito, nasa free throw line si Anton Viloria.
Was able to score a 3-point shot when he went into this ball game, but misses this opportunity. Napangiwi. Itong si Anton Viloria.
Si Anton Viloria meron pong 4 points. He had 3 points in that win over Alaska. So quality minutes muli mula kay Anton Viloria. Apat ang lamang ng San Miguel with time running out here in the third quarter. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Avenido. Inside Rivas. Turn around. Short. Burgess gets the rebound. Only 8 seconds to go in the third quarter. Here's Velasco. Velasco on the move. 3 seconds to go. Here's Ontiveros at yung bola mapupunta sa Coca-Cola.
With still 1.6 seconds to go. This has to be a catch and shoot right here.
Arrigo! Muntikan pa yun, ha? So dyan magtatapos ang third quarter. Arrigo and the Tigers actually battled back twice to get back in the game. Pero itong San Miguel nakakaharap ng paraan to keep the Tigers at bay. John Arrigo with 20 points, scoring 12. Ating laban sa pagitan ng Coca-Cola at San Miguel. Ngayong undefeated. Tapos nilang ipanalo ang kanilang mga unang laro dito sa Fiesta Conference. And Coca-Cola surging ahead as far as the third quarter is concerned, pero lamang pa rin itong San Miguel Beermen. Agawan para sa bola nakuha ng Coca-Cola. They begin the final quarter with John Arrigo has 20 points, Leo Venido, Pochuino, Rafi Rivas, at ang kanilang import na si Jaja Richards. Here's Avenido going for the three-pointer. Peña with the rebound. Para naman sa San Miguel, nasa sahig po si Anton Viloria, Dondon Ontiveros, Nick Velasco, Chris Burgess,
at si Dorian Peña. Pero alam mo, pag bumababa talaga yung kalamangan nitong San Miguel, parang nag-iiba yung yung aggressiveness nitong Coca-Cola. Parang nabibiti ng konti eh. So it's still a 4-point lead right here for the San Miguel Beermen. But the Coca-Cola Tigers are getting all the opportunities to close out on this lead.
High pass para kay Arrigo. Coca-Cola shooting well back in the third quarter, kaya nga nakabalik sila sa ating ball game. Now they're down by 4. Here's Velasco over to Peña. Swings it over to Ontiveros. Ontiveros on the move. Ontiveros all the way.
That was a beauty of a shot that time for Dondon Ontiveros. He had an open three, pero nakita siya ng higher percentage shot and took it strong to the hoop that time.
17 points para kay Dondon Ontiveros. Balik sa anim ang kalamangan ng San Miguel. Here's Avenido over to Arrigo. Arrigo, laban kay Ontiveros. Arrigo getting away.
Ito pa rin si John Arrigo doing his thing for Coach Eric Altamirano. This time posting up against Dondon Ontiveros.
22 points para kay Arrigo. Here's Velasco, open 3. What is brought to you by PM.
That shot will have to hurt the red shirt, partner. Itong sila Nick Velasco, no? Alam nila yung timing kung kailan sila titikata.
Ito ang hinahabol dito ng Coca-Cola. Jaja Richards outside. Avenido. And a nice pick from Jaja Richards, and he connects.
You know, the imports are doing their thing, you know, yung pagpasa ng ganun. But we still want a lot of offense coming from both of these imports. Of course, we know that Chris Burgess can score more than what he's scoring right now. But he's doing his thing for Coach Jong, you know, getting those rebounds. But still, just 8 points up to this point para dito kay Chris Burgess.
Third personal call laban kay Jaja Richards. Nagpanggahan sila doon ni Chris Burgess. At si Richards ang natawagan ng foul. Now, Joey Chico saying na dapat act of shooting. Because Burgess was parang in the motion of put back. Pero di naman ganun ang nakita ng ating mga opisyalis. In the meantime, here's Danny Seagull. Seagull slicing through, following, top shot. And gets the rebound. It's Peña. And he was blocked from behind. Rivas, kick out. Pochuino. No. You know, Burgess is doing his job on the rebounding end.
That's right. Chris Burgess has got 15 rebounds up to this point. But we still want to see a lot more offense from this white guy.
5 points, that's the lead of Joey Chico's crew. With 8:46 to go in the ball game. Burgess, turnaround, no good. And Peña battling hard for that offensive rebound outside to Velasco. Seagull. Marcelo on the left side. Burgess. Alley-oop.
Those are the kinds of plays that really appreciated by the fans here at Reneta Coliseum. Eye in the sky play from Olsen Rosella to Chris Burgess.
7 points ang hinahabol ng Coca-Cola. Arrigo offline. Burgess with another rebound. Oh, Burgess will be tagged with a loose ball foul.
So that would be a rebound for him. That could have been his 16th rebound for the ball game. But he was caught pushing off. Itong si Jaja Richards for that play.
Let's see what happened. Magmimintis itong si Arrigo.
Hindi natin nahuli kung
Oh,
sino
baka maaga yung tulak. Hindi lang natin nakita. Defensive rebound for John Richards over to Huino. Huino, laban kay Velasco. Arrigo looking for his shot. He fakes. And he gets the layup.
That's a great up and under move over Chris Burgess at that. Ito si John Arrigo so far with 24 quick points to keep the hopes of the Coca-Cola Tigers alive in this ball game.
Oh, the Tigers are very much in this game, down by just 5 with over 7 minutes to go. In this contest, Velasco, he can't connect. And Burgess chases down the rebound. So, 16 rebounds na itong si Chris Burgess. And here's Danny Siegel with a 3-point attempt. There's a reach-in by Velasco. Siya'y tatawagan ng foul.
But I like the effort of Poch Vino that time getting that rebound over Chris Burgess.
Only the first personal foul of Nick Velasco. Meron tayong timeout with 7 and 18 to go in the final quarter. Score po natin 73-68. 5-point lead para sa Beermen as we near the 7-minute mark of the final period. Barrientos, fall away, wala. And he gets the ball back para sa Coca-Cola. Here's Huino, the left side. Hahanapin si Johnny A. Hindi mabigay. Bibigay sa loob na agaw ni Velasco. Both teams are looking for their second win. Winning their opening assignment against the conference. And Danny Siegel with 26 points.
A great sidestep that time for Danny Siegel over the outstretched arms of Jaja Richards. No? Was not even able to block that shot of Danny Siegel.
So 2 straight misses mula kay Barrientos, and Huino just waiting for the contact at siya'y tutungo sa free throw line.
Poch Vino doing a good thing in a good job getting those rebounds, but still no contributions from Poch Vino.
Nakuha ni Huino ang second personal foul ni Nick Velasco. Nung unang laro ng Coca-Cola, Huino only had 2 points in 15 minutes of play. He also had 2 rebounds and 1 assist. Ang kanyang unang free throw.
So still scoreless is Poch Vino up to this point as we see the import matchup. Jaja Richards with only 11 points while Chris Burgess with 10 points but with more rebounds at 16.
Here's Ontiveros. Cross court, Danny Siegel.
Pero sinasabi sa atin itong si Danny Siegel, bakit nyo ba hinahanapan ng puntos yung import ko? 28 na nga. Itong binibigay ko sa inyong dalawa dyan.
28 points. It is such a luxury when a team can afford not to have a scoring import. And San Miguel is showing that right now. Sagot pa si Jaja Richards. Yes, turn around.
He's got those soft touches at 5-3 for si Jaja Richards. He just has to be given more of that ball down low.
You know, we've seen these 2 imports for 2 games now. Arguably, mas maganda pinapakita ni Chris Burgess. But if you're going to look long-term, yes, for the last 2 games and so far in this game, mukhang itong San Miguel, they can afford to have Burgess score 10, 15 points as long as he gets the rebounds. But when you're looking at the long term and when you're pitted against imports who are explosive, pa pwede pa ba yung ganyan?
Ito, alam natin na kaya ni Burgess, no? Na magbigay ng puntos because of that 22-point output which he had during that game against Alaska. Pero ito nga, yung luxury nga ng ganda ng nilalaro dito ng San Miguel, kaya siguro siya sabi ni Burgess, hindi ko na kailangan pumuntos.
Sobra yung tira ni Burgess sa pagkakataon na yun. And now here's Barrientos scanning the floor, goes to Rivas on the left side. Babalik kay Barrientos, 5 minutes to go in the ball game. Ang kanyang pasa, ang huli ni Ontiveros. Ang pamit lang na doon si Chris Burgess. They have to like the hustle of the import of San Miguel. Nagkakawagan ng foul.
Apat na ang foul nito si Chris Burgess.
Aba, 30 days from now, magbe-birthday pala itong PBA.
Happy birthday, no? 30th year anniversary, kaedad ko. Kaedad mo ba yan?
30 years. Magmula nung matapos ka sa UP. Ganun ba?
Ganun grade 1 ako.
Velasco and the Beermen, patuloy pa rin lumalamang. 77-70. Ano, sayang din tong Coca-Cola, no? They've had several opportunities. They've been knocking on that door. Pero talagang hindi sila pinapapasok ng San Miguel.
Tama, yun.
Balita natin, foul safety. Pinakita ni Wesley Wilson. Din,
Pag pinagsama mo pala si Wesley
at si Wilson. Patinig pala.
Wow.
Here's Burgess. Now it's kay Richards. Under 5 minutes to go in the ball game. So, sunod-sunod na yung mintis nitong si Chris Burgess.
But one thing for sure, they would want him to get involved in the offense. Ito si Chris Burgess. But standing his ground so far is Judge Richards, still outscoring the San Miguel import. Pero para naman low scoring, 13-10. Yan ang hinahanap natin, Miko.
Take that, Mr. Gregorio.
Oh, meron naman pala eh. Ito si Judge Richards, powerful dunk after that pick and roll.
Once replaced by Corey Braggs in one of the teams that he played for.
So you can see here that Judge Richards wants to make an impact to his team with that powerful slam. 77-73, 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go here in this ball game.
Richards with 16 points tonight. Here's Ontiveros. I tell you, lalapit itong Coca-Cola, lalayo na naman ng San Miguel.
At ang pinanggagalingan talaga ng puntos, from the 3-point range at that. Itong si Dondo ng Tiveros that time.
Here's Arrigo, sasagot. Go, in and out. Bola papunta kay Racela. Over to Ontiveros. And Beermen will organize. 3:38 to go in the final quarter. Ano yung mga bate ng San Miguel?
That's the wisest thing to do, no? Walang opportunity to run. They just run the half-court offense. Look for the open man. Still 9 seconds left in their shot clock.
And he's seeing along the move. Oh, slips and turnover.
But Danny Seager's looking for a foul that time against Rafi Rivas. He was closed out very well using the baseline. Good no call, I think, para doon sa play na yun, Miko.
Nadulas naman talaga itong si Danny Sig. So with 3:16 to go, pagkakataon para sa Coca-Cola na makalapit. They're down by 6. Here's a Barrientos. Binalik kay Rivas, top of the key. Wala pong tinamaan yung tira ni Rafi Rivas. Bola ay mapupunta sa San Miguel.
That was a wide open 15-footer for Rafi Rivas that time. So ganun pa rin ang kalamangan itong San Miguel. Every time may opportunity itong Coca-Cola, they just don't take advantage of it.
The Beermen slow things down. Time is on their side and Burgess on the move. And he will take two. Hinayang na hinayang. Si Burgess, sunod-sunod na nagmimitis itong si Burgess, but he will have an opportunity to score from the line. Si Richards ang tinawagan ng foul at yan ang kanyang pang-apat. You know, si Chris Burgess was actually a highly touted recruit out of high school. He was named to the USA Today All-USA team. Ang mga kasama niya, ano lang naman Tracy McGrady.
Simple
Baron Davis.
Hindi masyado.
Lamar Odom, yun lang naman. Kaya naman talagang ang daming eskwela sa Amerika, kinukuha siya, UCLA being one of those kasi taga-California to
You can say he's in really good company. That's why he's playing right here.
Unfortunately, nung pumasok naman siya sa Duke University wherein he played for 2 years, ang kasabay naman niya doon, Elton Brand, Corey Maggette, ang bibigat Shane Battier.
So dapat talaga naging happy na lang siya in playing the second team. No, but he wanted to get more.
Kaya lumipat siya sa University of Utah. In the meantime, here's a Barrientos. Over to Jaja Richards.
And again, that great pass right there by Johnny Barrientos. He was able to bring the defense of Chris Burgess to him. Don't look now. 5-point lead. Still 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in this ball game, Nico.
Here's Velasco. Sigo trying to get that basketball. Could have traveled there. So parang yung pivot niya.
Dumulas. Mukhang dumulas eh. Pero
But
nakita natin.
there was a foul spotted by referee Arnold Cunana. It's against Ali Peak, his third. And that will be number 4 against Coca-Cola. Itong San Miguel nasa penalty na as we near the last 2 minutes of the ball game.
So this is just a 2-possession ball game right here. Big offense para dito sa San Miguel Beermen. As referee Joey Kalungkagin calls a hold to play. Apat.
That will be number 4 laban kay Ali Peak.
2 straight fouls from Man Mountain, Ali Peak.
And now the Tigers have hit the limit with 2:03 to go in the final quarter. Naghahabol po ang Coca-Cola Tigers, ang kupunan. And the comebacking PBA head coach Eric Altamirano. Here from the middle. Here the announcement. We have under 2 minutes to go in this ball game. Three-pointer from Olsen Racela.
And that was just a great setup job by Danny Siegel to wide open Olsen Racela to up this lead to 8 points, 83-75.
Balik sa 8 ang abante ng San Miguel Beermen with a minute and 39 to go in the ball game. Barrientos. Richards. Off the glass, it's good. That's Richards with 20 points. So, 6 ang inahabol dito ng Coca-Cola Tigers.
Still a 2-possession ball game para dito sa kalamangan ng San Miguel.
Sigo. Goes inside, he was fouled. And he will cruise to the line. Si Rivas ang tatawagan ng foul, kanyang pangatlo. At penalty na po ang dalawang kupunan.
So sabi ng ating mga referees na hindi raw nakaposisyon, he was not squared to get that offensive foul. Ito si Rafi Rivas. Big free throws coming here for Danny Siegel, who so far got 28 big points and 2 blocks in this ball game.
Danny Sigo following up on his 23-point performance in that win over Alaska. Really taking charge of the offensive firepower of San Miguel for 2 games now. Ali Peak with the rebound, split from the line mula kay Sigo. So it's a 7-point ball game in favor of San Miguel. Bola po ng Coca-Cola, pero may timeout muna tayo mula rito sa Big Dome. Jaja Richards and the Tigers are trying to get back in the game. They are down by 7 points. So parehong-pareho nung nangyari nung kanilang unang laro laban sa Alaska. Danny Seal was the top scorer. Dondon was the second leading scorer. Ganyan din ang nangyayari ngayong gabi.
Alam mo, yan ang mabigat kung nakakapag-adjust na itong si Dondon Ontivero sa number 2 role niya. Because when Danny Siegel was injured, of course, the main bulk of the shots was coming from Dondon Ontivero. Pero now, that cannot happen anymore. So kung alam na talaga nitong si Dondon Ontivero kung ano yung number of shots na pwede niya take sa isang game, yun ang magpapabigat lalo para dito sa San Miguel Beermen.
1 minute and 2 seconds to go. 7 points ang lamang ng San Miguel. That's the lead they're trying to protect. With under a minute to play in this ball game. So namimiligro na po dito ang Coca-Cola Tigers. Both teams looking for their second victory after winning their opening assignment. And here's Danny Siegel over to Chris Burgess. Kinapos yung tira ni Burgess, but he will take 2.
And Chris Burgess going to Danny Siegel, acknowledging him for that great pass. But they'd rather let Chris Burgess take the 2 free throws than make him let him make that powerful slam right there.
Si Richards tinawagan ng kanyang 5th personal foul. Both teams are in the penalty. I tell you, you may not find a player as superbly coached as Chris Burgess. Ilang USNCAA players sa mga pagsabi na they played under 2 Hall of Fame coaches.
That's
He
right.
played under Mike Krzyzewski, si Coach K sa Duke. At nang lumipat siya sa Utah, naging coach naman niya doon, si Rick Majerus.
Very good ang kanyang experience, no? Kaya kita mo naman talaga yung basics sa laro nitong si Chris Burgess, not forcing his shots. Although he's only got 12 points, he's got 17 big rebounds, no? For a contribution dito sa San Miguel Beermen.
Velasco with the rebound. This will be a victory for the San Miguel Beermen. So after leading by 12 in the first half, itong Coca-Cola had several opportunities to regain the lead. They had several rallies in the second half. Pero itong San Miguel, hindi po bumigay. Never allowing Coca-Cola to get back in this game. And Donald Ontiveros, Danny Siegel, they both sizzled on the hard court. Kaya itong San Miguel will roll to its second consecutive win dito sa Fiesta Conference.
That's right, Dondon Ontiveros with 22 big points. Quiet points pa rin, ano? Masasabi natin para dito kay Dondon because the superb shots were taken the whole game by Danny Siegel. Who would ever have thought that even Dondon was scoring in the 20s for this ball game?
Now, what about Jaja Richards? He was given a second chance to show his worth tonight. Your assessment?
You know, Jaja Richards is a role player. I think Coach Eric Altamirano will need an import who will take charge both in offense and defense. Tingnan natin kung ang koponan ng Coca-Cola will be looking